He also became the first unanimous winner of the award after he led the league in blocks for a third straight season. And he's the first Spur to win it since Kawhi Leonard 10 years ago.
He's going to win every award the NBA has before it's all said and done. And time to welcome in former NBA All-Rookie Team selection, Iman Shumpert. Iman, what a run for Wemmby these last few days. Most points by a Spur in his playoff debut Sunday, and then Monday Defensive Player of the Year honors. What are you expecting as a follow-up in Game 2?
Much of the same. I don't think that there's an answer for Victor right now. I don't think he'll win problems until round 2 or 3. I still think that Victor's going to have to suffer what they're calling a heartbreak before he's able to get the real hardware that he wants. But Victor is making strides in the right direction. He's playing great in transition. He's shooting the ball well from 3. But most of all, he looks comfortable in this playoff form. A lot of times when the level goes up, you see a decrease in guys because they got to get adjusted to it. It seems like he's made the adjustment mentally before he's even gotten out there. So happy to see that from him, expecting much of the same.
Sean, let's pivot to the Lakers-Rockets series. Kevin Durant, a game-time decision for Game 2, but he did go through about half of Houston's practice on Monday. How crucial is a KD return for the Rockets' chances in this series?
It means everything. I think we got to see the level of, there's a drop-off that happens when he's not around. Not to say that he's their only way for offense, but he damn sure is a big part of it. Without him, you see their struggles and woes happen. Where they seem to have stretches during the game that they can't score at all. Usually, KD provides a random bit of scoring that you weren't even working for. You don't have to run a play for it. You don't have to run a scheme. Sometimes you don't even have to run an action. It's just something that he's just born to do. Sengun plays really well complementary to that. But if you take away a KD off the floor and let the Lakers load up, their team defense can deal with anybody. It's just when you have the scoring prowess of Kevin Durant, you get bailed out of a lot of situations.
Some pretty imperative scoring prowess, especially considering the fact that Houston struggled to create their own shot in Game 1 without KD on the floor. They shot just 11 of 52 off the dribble and 24 of 41 off passes. Iman Shumpert, thanks so much for the insight.
Thank you.
Nikola Jokic off his 22nd career playoff triple-double. Only Magic and LeBron have more. What a start for Denver. Jokic to Jamal Murray. The Nuggets led 24-11 after Murray completed the 4-point play. And then next possession, same combination, same outcome. Back-to-back 4-point plays for Murray. Later in the first, Tim Hardaway Jr. and 1. Denver, the first team with 3 converted 4-point plays in any quarter in the play-by-play era. Denver led by 14 after 1. This was a blowout, except back comes Minnesota. Julius Randle was a beast in this game. Wolves down 8. And then Ant-Man blows past Joker, finishes up over Aaron Gordon. He had a knee injury early on in this one, played through it. Ant-Man buries the 3. Minnesota takes the lead. And then closing seconds of the first half, Murray from half court to tie this one up at 64, headed into the locker room. Midway through the third, Denver down 2. The Joker started to pick up the scoring. Drano on the 3 to give Denver a 1-point lead. Later in the third, how about 16 in the third quarter from Jokic? Denver up 3, headed to the fourth. In the fourth, Joker off the mark. Minnesota the other way. Dante DiVincenzo to a wide open Jaden McDaniels. Minnesota back in front by 1. Next Nuggets possession. DiVincenzo off the miss. The other way. What a factor he was in that fourth quarter. Wolves in front by 3. 2 minutes to go. Off the Ant-Man miss. Rudy Gobert going to work and throwing it down. Minnesota in front by 4. Under a minute to go. Jokic right back at Gobert. Stuffs it over the Stifle Tower. Denver suddenly down just 2. 30 seconds to go. Still a 2-point game. Watch Jokic. Led the NBA in assists this year. Fortuitous bounce to Christian Brown, who gets fouled. 2 free throws to tie it. First one. Too strong. He would make the second, so a 1-point game. 15 seconds to go. Denver down 3. After Minnesota made a pair of free throws. Murray, the step back 2, no. Defensive rebound cleared by DiVincenzo, who's going to throw it down and put this one away. Minnesota takes game 2, 119-114. Let's bring in NBA champion Iman Shumpert now. Iman, how did Minnesota completely turn the game around after trailing by 14 after that first quarter?
Well, one, they just kept with it. Minnesota is one of the better teams in the NBA of playing from behind. But when we talk about taking on the challenge, Jamal Murray and Jokic have torn up the NBA for quite a while now. Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert decided enough is enough. And they locked in and they locked down. They made things uncomfortable to the point that Jokic had to go out there and take a little flop call to where Rudy Gobert got his fifth. And that gave him a little wiggle room to finally get to the basket. You saw him with that emphatic dunk when they were making that run at the end. That was the only way to soften it up because Rudy Gobert changed shots. Jaden McDaniel was in that handle over and over and over, going over the ball screen to where Jamal Murray wasn't even available to use it. There was no pocket pass available. Guys were deflecting. It was really nice to see down the stretch.
And so now this series heads back to Minnesota, tied 1-1. Game 3 is Thursday. I'm on standby. We got to get your perspective in a moment on what happened inside MSG.
The Eastern Conference, Jalen Brunson averages over 6 points per game more in the postseason than he does in the regular season, trying to help the Knicks get a 2-0 series lead. And that 3 adds to his point total in this one. Knicks up by 6. Now under a minute left in the first. CJ McCollum has something to say about it. Knocks down the 3, cuts the Hawks deficit to 3. Late in the second, Mikal Bridges hits the floater at the buzzer. Knicks would lead by 7 at the break. Now under 3 minutes left in the third quarter, Jose Alvarado finds Karl Anthony Towns for the finish. Knicks extending their lead. Next Knicks possession, same score. Towns top of the key, hits the tray. Cat had 18 points. The Knicks up 89-77. Hawks on the other end. McCollum looking for the handoff. Wayne Bradley gets called for an offensive foul on Alvarado. McCollum and Alvarado exchanged some words after the whistle. The Knicks led by 12 going into the fourth. So pretty comfortable lead, right? Well, Brunson goes downhill, finishes the floater. Knicks now up by 8. 2 possessions later. McCollum driving, kicks it to Nickeil Alexander-Walker for 3. Nah says yeah. Hawks down 197. Under 4 minutes, Knicks on the other end. Jonathan Kuminga denies Brunson. McCollum, Jalen Johnson finishes strong at the rim. Hawks now trail by just 1. McCollum crosses Brunson, makes the tough lay, and the Hawks have taken the lead. Now under 2 minutes left in the fourth, CJ McCollum gets past Brunson again for the floater. Hawks up by 3. Knicks on the other end. Brunson walks into the triple. That's good. The game is tied at 103. Knicks led by 12 going into the fourth, and now it's a tie game under 40 seconds. McCollum hits the J, puts the Hawks up by 2. Knicks on the other end. Walker rips Brunson. Hawks in transition. Johnson gets it, throws it down. Johnson's fired up. Atlanta up 107-103. 10.2 seconds left. Brunson wide open. Bucket. That's a 3. He had 29 points. The Knicks down by just 1. Hawks forced to call timeout. McCollum gets fouled. He's going to the line. Hawks up by 1 now. After missing the first, he attempts the second free throw, misses the second. Knicks with the rebound. Mikal Bridges with the jumper. It's no good. The Knicks fall short. The Hawks win. CJ McCollum, how does it feel to be the new villain of New York?
I am no villain. I'm a nice guy with 2 kids and a wife. I think it's admiration. Great, passionate fans in a really hostile environment. It's fun. It's basketball. It's the playoffs. And if anything, I think it's a sign of respect.
Obviously, I can control what I can control. And so poor decision-making on my part. And a couple possessions, they played great defense, knocked the ball out of my hands. We just we got to play better with the lead. That's twice in the fourth quarter now that we've done that.
We just go out there and hoop, man. The moment is what it is. It's a playoff series. You probably picked us to lose in 5 or 6, I would imagine, just like everybody else. So I would say for us, it's just about going out there and hooping.
A tough fourth quarter for the Knicks. When you think of Knicks blown leads, the first place your mind likely goes Reggie Miller. 1994 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5. Knicks led by 12 entering the fourth. Reggie took over, scoring 25 in the fourth quarter and hit Spike Lee with the iconic choke sign. We've seen that one again, though. The Knicks got a bit of deja vu last year. Game 1 of the conference finals against the Pacers. New York led by 17. Tyrese Halliburton channeled his inner Reggie Miller. Hallie hit the game-tying rim-bouncing shot that sent it to OT and would win in OT with a familiar celebration there. Somehow, it happened again. The Knicks tonight led by 12 entering the fourth, and it just slipped away. Atlanta outscored them 15-6 in the final 5 minutes. It's tied with Reggie Miller game as their largest blown fourth quarter lead in the Knicks playoff history. We're back here with Iman Shumpert. Iman, first of all, I just got to ask, what happened to the Knicks?
The Knicks just got a little dose of the same medicine they give everybody else. Sometimes things aren't going that well, and you put your head down and you go to the basket and good things happen. That's all the Atlanta Hawks did. They found gaps, they found their opportunities, and they forced the Knicks to play one-on-one defense. If you watch toward the end, when they first started coming and chipping after away at that lead, it was all straight line drives down the middle, or it was guys attacking the paint from the wing right back to the middle. If you know defensive principle, you know that when getting blown by going middle, you're going to have less help because there's less ability to rotate. You want to try and use the sideline and use the baseline as a defender, corral guys and keep them on that wing area or that baseline. If you want to put other guys in defensive position to help, you get a first help, a second help, you get a rotation swing. Getting beat middle can all those blow-bys, it just kills you at the rim. The shot blockers aren't available. There aren't as many players around for deflections. It's just a nightmare, and that's what happened to him.
NBA champion Iman Shumpert, thanks so much for the insight. More from you later on in the show as we continue.
Eddie and the late night crew working overtime. 32 from Spida Mitchell. The Cavs took game 1 from a Raptors franchise looking to snap an 11-game postseason skid against Cleveland. Early second quarter, Mitchell. How about the Cavs shooting 13 of 40 from three-point range? They led by 7. And then James Harden drops Scotty Barnes, and then check out the friendly Cleveland rims. Shooters bounce. Harden had 28. Cavs led by 6 at the break. Midway through the third, Evan Mobley goes to work. Tough bucket and 1. He had 25 and 8. The Cavs up by 15. Late third, though, Sandro Mamukelashvili to Jacoby Walter for 3. Raptors made just 7 threes, but they're clawing back. And then Barnes, such a complete player for the Raptors. He had a playoff career-high 26. Toronto back to within 7. Midway through the fourth, Mamukelashvili like a bull in a china shop. He had 12 and 10 in 21 minutes. But down the stretch, Donovan Mitchell time. Step back, you don't know me like that. Cleveland in front by 12. Mitchell 13 of 23 from the field. He also dished out 5 assists. And even when the shots weren't falling, he was cleaning up his own mess. 2-point bucket. He had 30 in all. Cavs never trailed, put 3 players over 25 points. They grab a commanding 2-0 series lead. Mitchell knows how to put on a show for the folks in Cleveland. Monday was his 9th straight home playoff game with 30 points, tying Wilt for the second longest streak in NBA history. Only Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has a longer streak, doing so 10 times, Maddie, during last year.
Eastern Conference playoffs checking in. The Knicks and the Hawks at Madison Square Garden, and the fourth quarter did not go as the Knicks would have hoped. New York with a 1-0 series lead. Knicks entering Monday 64-1 all-time when leading by 10 or more entering the fourth in the playoffs. So with 12-point lead in the fourth, what could go wrong? Well, CJ McCollum with the sweet handles in the bucket to give the Hawks the 1-point lead late in the fourth. Under a minute to play in the quarter. Game tied at 103 now. McCollum Gets to the corner, step back, Jay, bucket. He had 32 points, and the Hawks now up 2, 18 seconds remaining in the game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker strips Brunson. Jalen Johnson gets it in transition for the jam. Hawks up 4 now, 10.2 seconds left in the game. Knicks down 4 and inbounding. Brunson catches it off the inbound, rattles it in for 3, and the Knicks are down 1. Now 5.6 seconds remaining in the game. Hawks up 1. McCollum at the line after missing the first free throw, misses the second. Josh Hart gets the board, kicks it ahead to Mikal Bridges. Bridges pull up, Jay, no! The Hawks defeat the Knicks 107-106. The Knicks